In a moment, the Vice-chancellor, Professor Dalton, accompanied by the academic procession, will enter the graduation hall. When the procession has arrived on stage, Advance Australia Fair will be played, and we ask that you can join in the singing of our national anthem. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the academic procession.
Please be seated. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to invite Chris Tobin, representative of the Darug people, to offer the traditional welcome to country.
Thank you. Buji Mulunawul, everyone. Good morning, and Nalawa. Welcome to the lands of the Wallamedigal. I belong to one of the local Aboriginal families of the Darug people, the traditional custodians over this part of the country. I wish to firstly pay my respects to the country and its people, and to thank the university for their acknowledgement of us and the invitation to welcome you here this morning. That acknowledgement is important for our people and much appreciated. My family, in fact, descend from Yarramundi, a respected elder and cleverman of the Burrabrongal clan during the early years of colonisation. He saw that our survival in this new world could best be secured if we could learn more about it. And so he enrolled his daughter, Bulungari, or Maria, into the Native Institute, a school set up in 1815 by Governor Macquarie, offering formal education to Aboriginal children. Maria studied there for several years and used her newly acquired skills to lobby and ultimately secure some land for herself and her family out along the Richmond Road. Other Aboriginal families soon joined them, and it became known as the Blackstown, where the present-day city of Blacktown stands. We are very proud of her, as I'm sure your families are of you here today. And with good reason. Your success is our success. Your advancement, our advancement. Now, that was probably better understood in traditional times when camp groups were smaller and clans abided by strict sharing laws, which meant that the food that you caught and brought back was distributed throughout the rest of the camp. Your skills and good fortune were thus enjoyed by all, and your efforts literally nourished the rest of the community. And you in turn were looked after by them. Yes, we can live quite beautifully when we do it well. Our Aboriginal ancestors certainly lived well in many respects, and I use occasions like this to offer them to yourselves as a model or a benchmark on how good to expect our lives. You see, when Captain Cook arrived here a little over 200 years ago, he encountered a people who he described as one of the happiest people he'd ever met. They owned nothing, he wrote, but the tools they carried, made their shelters from the bark of trees without cutting them down, and harvested food from the earth without excessive tilling or clearing. Now, these were not primitive societies, but ancient cultures. There was no slavery, no rich and poor, no rents, homelessness, or mortgages. People cooperated to collect the resources that were needed, and then they were shared out according to strict Aboriginal law. Our lands were maintained with fire and responsible harvesting. Our rivers and waterways kept clean and unpolluted, with people drinking out of them as they have done here for the past 20,000 years. Now, please understand, this is not a dream or an ideal. This was normal life, and for the longest time. And there is little reason why we should expect less for ourselves and our children than what our ancestors enjoyed. Admittedly, there is a lot more of us, but we are a clever people, and there is still much magic in the world, I believe. So graduates, I would say expect great and wonderful things from your lives. Life is normally good, and we are naturally a happy people. Share your gifts with the rest of us and keep following that beautiful spirit within you that brought you thus far. Do this, and I'm confident together we can put together a future that we can be proud of and is worthy of our children. And then we can all do our bit. I'll do mine now by winding up and letting you graduate. I just want to say congratulations to all of you and all the best in our collective futures. Welcome to country. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to introduce the Vice-chancellor of Macquarie University, Professor S. Bruce Doughton.
Thank you, Chris Tobin, for your wonderful and informative welcome to country. It's wonderful to have you here. Thank you. Well, graduands, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls, first of all, I want to thank you for coming to the graduation ceremony today. I bring you the greetings of our Chancellor, the Honourable Michael Egan, AO, who is unable to be with us today, so you have me instead. A graduation is an important celebration of achievement, the achievements of our graduands, and I might say also of the university at large as well. So it's very good that you're all here, and I'm very grateful that you've taken the time to attend today as well. I want to especially thank you for those of you who've brought small children. It's good for them that they are here at graduation. I saw several little ones as I came in today, because the memories that they have of a ceremony like today and the importance of today may one day be the thing that inspires them to emulate our graduands here today and their successors. And the presence of children in a graduation ceremony is also good for all of us, because every celebration, in my view, is enhanced by having children present. Now, ladies and gentlemen, unless children have changed a lot since I was a young boy, I would suggest that few of them will be able to stay quiet or sit still for the duration of a graduation ceremony. And I don't expect them to, and I don't want them to. In a past life, I was a paediatrician, so I'm perfectly comfortable being around children making noise and commotion. If our Chancellor, Mr. Egan, were here, he would tell graduations that he's also very comfortable with children being in a graduation. And he goes on to say, usually, that he was a member of the Parliament for many decades, and he heard far worse noise in the ranker of the Parliament than any group of children could make in a graduation ceremony. Children are most welcome. Please let them run around, make any commotion they like. They are very welcome. Now, the most important thing for today is that our graduands have a wonderful and memorable day. I hope it will be a happy day for all of you. You deserve to take pride, great pride, in all that you have achieved. Completing a degree is never easy. You need an intelligent and inquiring mind. You need determination and perseverance, and you need to make many sacrifices along the way as well. So to our graduands, my congratulations to each and every one of you, and welcome to today's ceremony. I also want to congratulate and welcome all of the guests of our graduands here today. The very fact that you have been invited by one of our graduands to share in one of the great days of their lives is proof positive that you have been a positive and enduring influence upon their lives and their successes that we celebrate today. And I don't want you to think that today, observing this ceremony, is the end of your role either. I have another important service for the families of our graduands here today. I want you to make sure that the testamers, the degrees they will receive today, are never ever put in a bottom drawer, but are always proudly displayed in a position of prominence. In other words, if our graduands are too self-effacing to proclaim their own success for themselves, I urge you to help do it with them and for them. Now, the ceremony we're about to participate in today is one of European and world's oldest social rituals. For centuries, graduates have been donning robes just like the ones that our graduands are wearing today, and participating in ceremonies just like this one. There are some 50 universities in the world that span back over 500 years. In fact, if you look at organisations that have existed for more than 500 years, there are only about 60 in the world. If you leave aside the parliaments of England, Iceland and the Isle of Man, and 6 Swiss cantons or local government regions, all the rest are universities, very ancient institutions. Macquarie University, by comparison, is a relatively young university, just over 50 years. We proudly take our name from Governor Lachlan Macquarie, we believe the greatest colonial governor in the Australian history, the 5th colonial governor of this state. A man whose greatness and achievements, by the way, were never really recognised or acknowledged by his contemporaries at the time. Those of us educated in the New South Wales school system learned that Lachlan Macquarie was a great builder. And certainly, as you wander around downtown Sydney, some of the historic buildings were built during Lachlan Macquarie's time. But we believe that the greatest contribution that Lachlan Macquarie actually made was to the ethos he established in that early convict colony, much to the annoyance, by the way, of the British authorities at the time, and ultimately probably contributed to costing him his job, because he advocated for an egalitarian society. Lachlan Macquarie insisted and made a decree in that fledgling convict colony that there be no distinction between the free and the freed. So once you had been freed as a convict, you were an equal of a person who came as a free citizen to the early colony. We believe that that is the foundation, in fact, for the Australian notion of a fair go for all. And it is that legacy, in fact, that we honour and will always maintain and honour at this university. After our first 54 years, we now have more than 184,000 Macquarie graduates living in 142 countries across the globe. We're a modern and outward-looking university. We are now ranked in the top 2% of universities worldwide. And from our beginnings, we have defied the traditional boundaries of academia. We have pioneered and continue to pioneer teaching and learning approaches that challenge conventions and shift thinking. Our students play a major role in their own learning and are empowered to guide what and how they learn to a significant degree. We are also research pioneers. Our framework for the future, world-leading research and world-changing impact, is brought to life every day, every week by renowned researchers whose bold and innovative solutions to issues of global significance are of enormous benefit to the world we live in. We have a rich diversity of research across this campus. I'm sure all of you will be aware very recently of the death of Professor Stephen Hawking, a brilliant scientist and marvellous and inspiring man. The disease he fought almost all of his life was motor neuron disease. And I'm very proud to say that our Faculty of Medicine and Health Sciences here at this university is the leading research entity in this country into that terrible disease, trying to find a cure for that awful disease. In another example, you'd find it hard to believe that our researchers are working on innovation that will prevent shark attacks on surfers by understanding how surfboards and their image under the water attracts or repels sharks. All of our research projects have enormous potential to add to the world's knowledge and well-being. We have many new facilities as well, our relatively new hearing hub, library and hospital. In fact, when you arrived today at the campus, you might have thought that you were coming into a war zone. The big hole in the ground to my rear is the site of our new central courtyard precinct under redevelopment, which will house wonderful new facilities for students and staff, study areas, social areas, food and beverage, and in a very attractive redevelopment of the plantings in the central courtyard to make it more welcoming. A little further away, the arts faculty is stripped back completely, and at one of our oldest buildings and being completely redeveloped. So we are looking forward and we are on the move as a university. Here at Macquarie, we have always had a very clear and straightforward mission. And that mission is to transform people's lives and to improve the lives not just of our own students, but also of people around the globe by the work and achievements of our graduates and by the fruit of our research. We want Macquarie University to always be a leader in teaching and learning, in the accumulation of knowledge and understanding. In other words, an ideal community of scholars. And in just a few minutes, it will be my very great honour to confer upon our graduands your degrees and welcome you all as lifelong members of that community of scholars we proudly call Macquarie University. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my great pleasure to introduce our occasional speaker for today, Jenny May. Ms. May is a highly skilled strategist, coach and facilitator. She is the co-founder and director of Illumina Executive Development, a boutique consultancy offering the development and implementation of small and large group facilitation and one-on-one coaching for personal and organisational improvement. Ms. May's background in science, sales and marketing enables her to relate to the many diverse challenges facing organisations today. Her previous senior management experience in corporate healthcare allows her to bring a fresh and relevant perspective to the leadership and strategic work in which she is involved. She now specialises in organisational culture, strategy, leadership, communication and change, and is a guest lecturer for the Business Leadership and Commerce degree at this university, delivering a module on emotional intelligence. I now invite, ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Jenny May to deliver the occasional address. Please welcome Ms. Jenny May.
Well, Vice-Chancellor, ladies and gentlemen, graduates and their family and friends, good morning. I'm really pleased to be here to share what will be one of your most special and enduring memories. My own graduation remains a milestone in my career that heralded a career that I could never have foreseen or imagined. So today I'd like to share some insights and lessons with you that I would have liked my 21-year-old self to have known back then. And that might be helpful for some of you when you face those inevitable professional forks in the road. There are some movie and film franchises that stick in our heads, that remain in our hearts, that are deep in our psyche. One of those is Harry Potter. In the second movie, there's a scene where Harry realises that he has much more in common with his nemesis, Voldemort, than he would like. In response to his distress, Dumbledore says something to him that has always stuck with me. He said, "Harry, it is not our abilities that show what and who we truly are. It's our choices. Our choices." So I'd like to share 3 choices that I made that significantly changed the trajectory of my life, and then most importantly, what I learnt from them. Upon finishing school, I decided to study science at university, not because I was particularly driven to, but I found it genuinely interesting, and I really didn't know what else to do. Yet by the time I'd finished, I'd convinced myself that the noble thing to do was pursue a career in medical research, as anything less would be a betrayal of my academic effort. I distinctly remember walking across campus after finishing the last exam with some of my friends, berating another of our friends who had done the unthinkable, taken a job as a sales rep for a healthcare company. I think the words, "what a waste of a degree," actually came out of my mouth. Little did I know that 3 months later, that would be exactly what I'd be doing. I soon realised that this application of my scientific knowledge was much more me. I enjoyed the mix of science and people and marketing and sales, and I thrived on the adrenaline and challenge of the corporate environment. Measures of success were clear: title, promotion, the reward. And I soon had the goal of becoming a director of the company as young and as soon as possible. After some interesting and enjoyable and often challenging years, I achieved my goal and became one of the youngest female directors in the organisation. Yet the elation and satisfaction that I expected to feel just didn't materialise. What I thought would make me happy just didn't. And I realised that I didn't really want this to be my life. That what I was doing was more because I could do it rather than maybe it was what I was meant to do. So I started looking at options, and while considering roles that were ultimately similar to what I was doing, I saw an ad in the paper at the time, sounds old, and as hokey as it sounds, the only words I can really remember were, "Do you want to make a difference?" But for me, it crystallised that the opportunity to catalyse growth and change in others was what really engaged me, what gave me purpose. So I applied, miraculously got the job as a facilitator and coach, made a significant career change, took a 40% pay cut, and enrolled on a roller coaster ride that I still learn from and value today. The role was much harder than I could have imagined, but more rewarding and humbling than I could have ever have hoped for. I traded comfort and possibly prestige for starting a process of finding out who I really was. Yet I still felt a degree of compromise. A lot of the work I did was really more about hitting a budget than doing what I thought was really what I should be doing. So after 5 successful years, I decided to take the "It's our choices" mantra to another level. And so I resigned, and with my business partner and friend, started my own learning development company. I was then faced with the idea of having no financial safety net and the doubt of how could a 2-person band possibly compete with global organisations. What unfolded proved those fears, were ever understandable, somewhat misplaced. Over 18 years, we've gone on to win contracts as large and diverse as rolling out a culture change program for Qantas, for over 13,000 people in Qantas, including all their cabin crew, which was kind of fun, to a full modular 8-day frontline leader program for 7,000 Telstra employees, to leadership change communication strategy initiatives in organisations of all sizes, different industries, and with different motivations. And it's still the work I do today. So what have I learned? And what would I like to leave with you? Well, first of all, not every career choice you make will be perfect or your ultimate sweet spot. But each one will equip you with knowledge and skills that may not seem important at the time, but might be essential to your next role. It would be more difficult for me to engage business leaders today without the business experience I had, and running my own organisation a bit more difficult without the financial and HR skills I acquired in my corporate days. And there might also be added bonuses, although no, it's not politically correct to say. I met my husband in the office, and someone who's about to graduate today would not have been born if that hadn't have happened. So stay hungry to learn and pay attention to every lesson along the way, however pointless or at times painful that may be. Secondly, don't let others or popular opinion determine your career choice or define success. Only you know what's right for you. Pay attention to that inner voice and really notice when you feel most truly alive. To follow that instinct takes courage and faith, and sometimes the necessity to reframe what success really is. It is said that it is better to fail at your own life than to succeed at someone else's. Success defined by contentment, legacy, and contribution will return more to you than money and title alone ever will. And finally, the biggest differentiator that you bring to any role is you. Corporate credentials, a global brand, fantastic social media profile won't last the distance. Build your skills, grow your knowledge, get as much experience as you can. Make learning a lifelong habit and not just a university necessity. And then back yourself and be yourself. In a world where the homogenous is growing exponentially, it's an authentic person, an original, is what we want to see. A real, talented, committed person is compelling, magnetic, and capable of so much. So be that original. Believe in that self, because that part of you is already somewhere inside of you. So finally today, I'd like to leave 3 things. Keep hungry to learn, risk bravely, and believe in the person that you are and the person that you will become, and you'll live a life that's not only full of personal satisfaction, but will leave a legacy that is meaningful, unique, and that truly endures. Thank you so much.
Well, graduates and ladies and gentlemen, we have been extraordinarily privileged today to hear those words from Jenny May. I have another job for our graduates. I urge you, particularly when the chips are down, when things are not going well, when you don't know where to turn, when your anxiety is up a little, don't just remember this day. Go to the Macquarie University Graduation Archive on the website and listen to Jenny May's speech all over again. The advice in that speech is so profound and so on the mark. discussion about choices, the importance of choices we make in our lives, the importance of thinking about what it is to be deeply happy, about what a legacy we want to leave, about contentment and about contribution more than material gains. These are the profound things out of which a life of success and happiness is made, all encapsulated, I believe, quite brilliantly in that wonderful graduation address today. I get to listen to lots of graduation addresses. We run 68 graduations a year. I have seldom heard a graduation address as profoundly on point and meaningful to a new graduating class as today. Please join me in thanking Jenny May again. As Vice-chancellor of Macquarie University, I especially look forward to presiding at ceremonies such as today's and conferring degrees upon those who have complied with all the university's requirements for such awards. I now call upon our Registrar, Ms. Gail White, to formally certify the eligibility of those who have met the requirements for these awards. Registrar.
Vice-Chancellor, I certify that all the candidates being presented here today and those who are absent have satisfied the requirements of the Academic Senate for the degrees they are to be awarded. Would all candidates for admission to degrees please stand?
Yes, that's you, all of you.
Yeah.
In the name of the Macquarie University Council and by my authority delegated from the Council as Vice-Chancellor, I admit each of you present and those who are absent to the degrees for which you have qualified. Graduates, congratulations.
Please be seated. Vice-Chancellor, the graduates at this ceremony are from the Faculty of Business and Economics. I now call upon Professor Lee Wood, Associate Dean, Learning and Teaching of the Faculty of Business and Economics, to present the graduates. Professor Wood.
Vice-Chancellor, the Faculty of Business and Economics, including the Macquarie Graduate School of Management, is the largest faculty at Macquarie University and one of the largest in Australia. We are an applied, engaged and global business school. Our role is to create knowledge through applied research in areas of marketing, management, finance, economics, actuarial studies and accounting. Our programs are innovative and include strong engagement with industry, as well as the development of employability skills. Business knowledge and skills are in demand globally. Our graduates have starting salaries well above the average for all Australian business schools. These graduates have the skills, knowledge and resilience to make a positive contribution to their families, their communities and to the world. Today we're celebrating the graduation of students mostly from the departments of marketing and management. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of those degrees that the students are graduating with today. Some are graduating with a degree of Bachelor of Global Business. Now these students have all the business knowledge, but they also have a major in a language. That's a really impressive thing to have completed. We have students from the Bachelor of Business Leadership and Commerce. These students have learned a real strong range of business skills and interpersonal skills for leadership for the future. We also have students from Bachelor of Marketing and Media. These students, I know that their two capstone lecturers are here to greet them today, but I've seen some of the work that these students do at the end of 3 years and is so impressive. They have to do a pitch to industry. It is amazing. So that's just a few examples of the kinds of degrees the business faculty is involved with, and I'm just very proud of all of our academic staff here. I'm very proud of our graduates, and I'm proud to present these graduates to you today. Vice-Chancellor, I present to you the graduates from the Faculty of Business Economics who you have admitted to degrees. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Arts. Caitlin Charm Beattie. Tracy Shamoon. Stephanie Crompton. Rachel May Emder. Cara Fernandez. Hannah Flood. Anna Raway Fung. Michelangelo Milani. Madeline Rose Marshall Owens. Hannah Eve Pepler. Laura Jean Poole. Siobhan Cito. Paul Sue He. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration with the Bachelor of Commerce Professional Accounting. Lucinda Habiba. Johnson Hahn. Miguel Iribarren. Chun Ku. Aaron Muldoon. Madison Ratcliffe. Nicole Sila. Wei Jiazhong. Jake Vale. Craig Whittle. Cecilia Riatmo. Yin Chern Arthur Wong. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Administration. Bana Al-Alami. Danielle Anderson. Elena Jane Argent. Abdul Muhammad Azizi. Laura Ann Bailey. Robert Shidid. Si Hua Chen. Erickson Chu. Rebecca Dalpadado. Mark DeBrito. Maya Dunima-Glotlovska. Ho Yu Harvey Fong. Matthew Thomas Furness. Kevin Godfrey. Peter Michael Gordon. Soho Han. Ah Yong Hale. Todd Robert Hibbert. Samuel Robert Hipperson. Andrew Ho. Teodora Ivovich. Young Ja Jo. Alison Corter. Manchuk Chok. Nicole Lay. Elizabeth Lee. Xin Yan Lee. Chi Xuan Liang. Jia Hui Liu. Timothy Lai. Claire Mitchell. Emma Morton. Anastasia Papayoyou. Ricardo Sklavos. Subin Shrestha. Hovannes Sogomonian. T. Tan Huang John. Lachlan Irwin. Devon Wilbert. Lai Ting Wong. Ai Ping Wu. Ming Yi Xue. Mo Ong Zo. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Analytics. Christine Dunch. Christine Fadley. Nicholas Hayward. Ted Lindsay. Joanna Sobotka. Jack Sun. Yoshi Wang. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Business Leadership and Commerce. Raina Shihab. Justin Yue Zhao. Thomas Evanet. Rowan Hedge. Kelly Jane Ireland. Danielle Annette Malone. Harrison May. Luke Morgan. Maggie O'Neill. Amy Renee Rodder. Tristan Smith. Joshua Westlake. Brittany Wrightson. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Commerce. Abhimanyu Chaturvedi. Sherxian Chen. Adam Felch. Mark Arlen Ishkanian. Felicity Lee. Alicia Jade Naylor. Hamza Rana. Zoe Seymour. Lucas Sorensen. Michelle Ann Stevenson. Eileen Yickling Teal. Peter Graham Clark Yates. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Economics, Chen Hu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Global Business, Irasima Bronk. Ivan Choi. Alexander Daskalovsky. Myung Jun Kim. Jacqueline Rebecca Lillyman. Matthew Reynolds. Timothy James Scollay. Alexander Serbin. Boris Tam. Hilda Chin-Yin Yu. I present graduates admitted to the degree of Bachelor of Marketing and Media. Melvin Bautista. Rosie Bissett. Madeleine Burrows. Haika Chui. Matthew James Clark. Kinanaya Dharma. Madeleine Jill Davies. Yana Demokarian. Christine Elhaj. Dominique Federa. Catherine Grace Furley. Melissa Galanos. Yasmin Gench. Stacey Yasmin Gore. Jeremy Gonzalez. Lara Ainsley Johnson. Jerome Oden Kang. That's easy, no? Tim Kelly. Mia Kirakos. Nicola Jane Leggett. Shella Shersin Chin Lee. Oliver Kennedy Lofhagen. Corinne Long. Talita Maturea. Emma Caitlin McKenzie. Emily Malintz. Carter Jonathan Nicholas. Shannon O'Keefe. Albert William Shang Olsen. James Page. Zoe Peck. David Jonah Pejovic. Luke Briley. Zaira Rocky. Isabella May San Jose. Sarah Selig. Irini Sidropoulos. Yvette Staples. Rachel Tyers. Emma Van Vliet. James Edward Vodika. Liam Patrick Waltz. Courtney Weldon. Madison Grace White. Prudence Williams. Bonnie Ziwanyao. Alexandra Zappia. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Master of Business Administration, Akshay Gupta. I present the graduate admitted to the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Dr. Kay Nauman, for a thesis entitled A Multivalenced Investigation of Customer Engagement Within a Social Service. Congratulations. Vice-chancellor, that completes this morning's presentation of the graduates from the Faculty of Business and Economics.
Vice-chancellor, I call on Miss Prudence Williams, who has graduated today with a Bachelor of Marketing and Media, to speak on behalf of the graduating group. Miss Williams.
Vice-chancellor, members of the university, fellow graduates and guests. It's an honour to be here today representing the graduating class on this very special occasion. When reflecting on a university experience, it's hard to cover all perspectives. However, I can talk about my own and many of the peers I call friends around me. Coming out of school into university is no deal a shock. However, from the very first Bachelor of Marketing and Media meetup, which my mum, like many of yours I'm sure, made you attend, I knew I was in the right place with the right people, some of which I'm sure I will share lifelong friendship with. Once again, thanks, Mum. However, now despite the people in the place came the work. I got a rude shock when I poured my heart and soul into my first university essay, thinking it would do really well against my high school standards. However, I received a pass. Hilariously, I cried and cried and cried over my pass mark and how that was the last time that happened. But I think I can speak on behalf of all of us in saying that whilst university has posed some of our most challenging times, it has also been the source of some of our greatest achievements, both professionally and personally, such as today. But today's achievement is most definitely a shared success which people need to be recognised for. Firstly, Macquarie University. I can honestly say there is no place I would have rather studied for the past 3 years. The real heart of this university is its people. So thank you to the staff and the amazing tutors we've all had the privilege of learning from. A special mention to Professor Lawrence Agg and Dr. Raymond Welling. Thank you for going above and beyond for your students. Your genuine passion for us to succeed is most definitely recognised and appreciated. So thank you from many of us here today. We also cannot forget our wonderful families. We are grateful for the lives we live and the opportunities that you have provided that have led us here to today. Whether it's been a hug, a word of encouragement, or just checking in when we haven't left our room in a while, we are really grateful and we couldn't have done it without you. And finally, fellow graduates. Whilst we've had such wonderful support to help us get to this stage, at the end of the day, it couldn't have happened without you. Whether you scraped through or you excelled, you put in the hard yards to make it happen, and you should be so proud of yourselves. Thank you to those who made studying an even more rewarding, fun, and supportive environment than I could have ever imagined. Whether you're continuing on studying, already working, giving graduate job sites a run for their money, or not even sure what the next move is yet, I'm sure you are on your way to achieving many more wonderful things. So congratulations and enjoy the well-deserved celebration. Thank you.
Well, there again this morning, ladies and gentlemen, we have a wonderful response from Prudence, and congratulations to you again for your degree today, along with all of your new graduate colleagues. Again, lots of wise advice in there, and particularly I think the notion that we very, very seldom in this world get where we are by solely our own actions. And taking a chance to thank people around one was a terrific part of Prudence's address. Please join me again in thanking her for a wonderful response. Ladies and gentlemen, that amazing voice belongs to Ms. Angela Brewer, who you're very fortunate today to have Angela singing at our graduations. As the Chancellor notes, and I certainly note, you are indeed fortunate because on the odd occasion that Angela can't sing at graduation, either the Chancellor or I have to sing. Please join me in thanking Angela again for a wonderful rendition. Please join me also in thanking our musicians for today. On the organ, Dr. James Forsyth. And on the trumpet, Mr. Colin Grisdale. I'd also like to take this opportunity, ladies and gentlemen and graduates, to thank the representatives from our alumni community who steadfastly come along at many of our graduations, day by day, week by week, to help celebrate this wonderful occasion. Please join me in thanking them. Now, graduates, this ceremony marks a change in your relationship with Macquarie University, but it is certainly not the end of your association with us. From today on, for the rest of your lives, you are part of that larger Macquarie family, which is our alumni. As I mentioned before, part of that network of over 184,000 now graduates spread across the globe. We will keep in touch with you through the alumni office and hope you will come back here to visit campus, attend alumni events, undertake more study, or just a simple visit to our beautiful campus. Graduates, the award of a university degree carries many opportunities and privileges, but like all privileges, it does also carry responsibilities. I urge you to commit yourselves to a program of lifelong learning and inquiry. I urge you to set ambitious goals for yourselves. I urge you to continue the hard work that has already brought you so far. I urge you all always to think of how you can help out others along the way as well. You don't have to do much sometimes to make a very big difference in someone else's life. And you don't have to be Einstein or Stephen Hawking to change the world. Sometimes simply a kind gesture, a word of thanks, is enormously appreciated by the recipient. So I urge you always to give thought to what you can do for others along the way as well. I challenge you to continue to exercise sound judgment and initiative, and always to be generous in offering practical advice and wisdom to those you meet along the journey of life. My hope is that as graduates of Macquarie University, you will use what you have learned here not only for your own benefit, but also for the betterment of your community. In all you do, I charge you to uphold the good name of Macquarie University. I also hope that you will always remember the people who have helped you along the way, many of whom are with you here today. So to acknowledge their contribution and to thank them for it, I'm going to ask the graduates to do a few things for me right now. First of all, I'd like all the new graduates to please stand. Now, I want you to place your testamers on your seats behind you, and I want to ask you to turn around and face your family and friends and give them a mighty round of applause in thanks. Now, graduates, if you would please turn around, but don't sit down just yet. Here on the platform are representatives of our academic staff who have supported you throughout your journey. Please join me in thanking them as well. Now, graduates, please do remain standing because we'll be leaving shortly, but do turn around briefly and pick up your testamer so you don't leave it on the seat behind you. The official party will soon leave the hall, followed by the graduates. As we do, Dr. Forsyth will play the traditional recessional music, which has been played for a long, long while at graduation ceremonies. An age-old set of Latin lyrics which begins with Gaudeamus igitur, nos habebit juventutum. In translation, this age-old graduation exit song starts out, "Therefore, let us rejoice. We will always be young." This song speaks in a whimsical way of youth and old age at the very same time as the brevity of life and the inevitability of death, of state and city, and of happiness. Again, to the newest graduates of Macquarie University, my warmest congratulations and every best wish for futures filled with success, satisfaction, and most importantly, happiness. Might I now invite everyone to please stand. Shortly, I will lead the official party out of the auditorium, followed by the graduates. I then invite you all to follow the graduates down to the marquee for some light refreshments. In closing today's wonderful celebration of your achievements, I say again, Gaudeamus igitur, let us therefore rejoice.